Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about some of the biggest lessons I learned in my 20s and do kind of like a now versus my 20s type of video. So I actually turned 30 last year in 2019 and I learned a lot of major lessons in my 20s. So I'm just going to share some of the main ones with you today. So one of the biggest takeaways that I learned in my 20s is that everything that I had been searching for in life and outside of me was actually already inside of me. And I know that sounds really kind of like woo and kind of cliche almost and really spiritual, but it's the truth. It is 100% true. Everything that you are searching for, maybe through books or through other people or through experiences, is something that you can always create within yourself, because you're always actually searching to feel a certain way. You want to feel loved, you want to feel recognized, you want to feel abundant, you want to feel safe. All of these experiences, feelings, states of mind, you can feel right now. And another thing that I also kind of discovered is that a lot of the answers that you're looking for and information, you already actually kind of know at a really, really deep level. And it's not so much a matter of learning, it's actually a matter of remembering. This is kind of what I learned very subtly over the last decade. I would just have certain experiences or certain epiphanies, or I would hear something said in a certain way, and I would actually realize that I had already known that all along, but I just needed to hear it in a certain way in order to remember it again. You know in your body what's true and what is not true, and it's more so a matter of learning how to listen to your own inner guidance, your intuition, and your body, and it will tell you if what you are taking in or learning or even contemplating in your own mind is valid or not. And a lot of the times you already know. So that was another huge thing I learned in my 20s. Another huge thing I learned is not to take life so seriously. That doesn't necessarily mean like abandon all your responsibilities and just live aimlessly, go party every day and don't do anything constructive. It's more so not letting little things stress you out and being in a responding mode, not in a reactive kind of mode. If you are always in a state of stress because things aren't exactly the way that you want them to be, you will never be happy. You will never enjoy the moment, which isn't what you want in this life. That's not how you want to feel. You don't want to feel stressed, angry, and full of anxiety. And a lot of that is just about being a little more less serious day to day, not taking your day-to-day life so seriously. If things don't go exactly how you want, let it slide. Don't let it get to you. It really, in the long run, does not matter. And once you kind of have that long-term perspective and you can kind of pull yourself out of a situation and think, is this really going to matter in 10 years? I want to say like 98% of the time, the answer is no. And then you can realize that you really don't need to be so worked up about it. Try to just lighten the mood a little bit. Try to be a little bit more flexible and a little bit more easygoing and okay with how things play out, right? It's more about allowing, as they say, allowing, and not trying to force things. You're going to have a much easier time if you adopt that kind of a mindset. The next huge takeaway is that your 20s is the time to explore and experiment. View life as an adventure and a game. It's super, super important that you figure out what excites you at a very deep level, what you are truly passionate about, because that is a clue for why you came here. You also need to figure out, who do you want to become? Really ask yourself that question. Who do you want to be? What is the best version of yourself? Who is that person? What are some of your main values? Do you value freedom? Do you value security? Do you value power, wealth, family, love? All of these, sit down and list out in order what is most important to you, because it's going to help guide you with your major life choices. But I would say the biggest thing is to figure out what excites you at a deep level, because it's tied to your life purpose and why you came here in the first place. It's really important for you to find meaning in your life, to feel like you have a purpose and that life is meaningful, and that is very tied up and intertwined with what you are passionate about and what excites you. It'll give you a clue for the next steps to take. The next major thing I learned in my 20s is romantic love, heartbreak, betrayal, and how powerful of an experience that is. So most likely in your 20s, or maybe even in your late teens, you will have a romantic relationship that is very deep, very powerful. You will fall in love. This experience is one of the most powerful experiences that you will ever have in your life, but it can also be very, very painful if it doesn't play out right. So you might get betrayed, you might get double-crossed, or you just might experience major, major heartbreak. And this is an obstacle and a challenge that a lot of people don't actually overcome. They don't overcome this challenge in their life, and it plagues them for the rest of their life because they can't let go of the pain that they experienced. But if you are able to go through something like this and fully let go, fully forgive, come out the other side stronger, wiser, and more confident, it will be one of the most powerful experiences you will ever have and one of the biggest lessons that you could ever learn in life. So when you're younger and you're playing with romantic love, because it is kind of a game that you're playing, it's a game that has really high stakes. If it goes wrong and you are not mature and confident and a strong person, it can really break you. What I learned is how to feel whole and complete and loved on my own without anybody. So whether or not I am with someone or single, it doesn't matter. I am happy regardless, and I am whole and complete and loved regardless. I know, like, again, that sounds really cliche and cheesy, but if you truly believe this, you're not going to have any problems with romantic love or finding love or just feeling love in your life in general. And realize in order to be loved, you must first exude love. You have to create love within yourself first. You can always create that feeling in yourself. And the last thing that I really learned is not to listen too seriously to the opinions of others. Now, that doesn't mean like totally disregard people's advice, and maybe you have a mentor or somebody that is wiser, that has gone through a lot more than you. Definitely listen to them, and listen to them genuinely and authentically, and take what they have to say seriously. But at the end of the day, your choices should be your choices. Just because mom or dad says this is best for you doesn't necessarily mean it's true. And at the end of the day, your life is your life. Your path is your path. You do what you want to do. Be true to yourself first. Listen to yourself first. That is a cardinal rule of life. If you let someone else run your life, you will never be happy. You will never be happy. Make your own choices. If you get burned, that's your lesson to learn. That's your mistake to learn from, but it's still yours, and that's the point, right? Never build someone else's dream. Build your own dream and your own life. Okay, take back your power. Never give that power to somebody else. Make sure that what you are doing on a day-to-day basis is serving you. And in that way, you will serve others. If you are true to yourself, you will become the strongest and most well-developed person in order to be in a position to help the most people. So those are some of the major lessons that I learned in my 20s. I hope that it helps somebody out there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.